So most story writers like to write their characters as obvious good guys and obvious bad guys. That way the audience will know who they should be rooting for and who they should be rooting against. If you ever watched one of those old Western shows, then you know the good guy always dresses all in white with the white cowboy hat. And the black guy, all in black with the black cowboy hat. The bad guy, all in black with the black cowboy hat. The good guys always are virtuous, always do the right thing, are always selfless, trying to do what's best for humanity. And the bad guys are always kind of flat characters, nefarious looking, always bent towards evil. Simple good guys and bad guys. But real life doesn't produce simple good guys and bad guys, does it? Real life is much more complex than that. So much so that nowadays we need a little bit more depth to our character writings and stories. We like to have our heroes have some flaws, to be a little bit of tragic heroes so that they are more relatable to us. And we need some reason, we need some motivation for why the bad guy is doing such evil things. Because we know that in the real world, people don't break down into such simple binaries of good or bad. Very few, if not anybody, can be all good or all bad all of the time. No, life circumstances and human freedom goes a long way to dictate how we see people in the real world and how we see the world itself. But despite this fact, we still find ourselves wanting to categorize people in these simple categories. Good guys and bad guys. Now that might be just as simple and innocent as a self-defense mechanism that helps us better understand the world around us, that we use stereotypes to kind of help get a better grasp of the situation that we're in, or that might devolve into something much more nefarious, a real prejudice that we've built up in our hearts that we have become blind to. Those are the bad guys, and we're the good guys. And obviously, God loves us as the good guys, but I'm not so sure if God loves the bad guys. We do this with historical figures as well. Hitler was a bad guy. George Washington was a good guy. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to stand up here and defend Hitler. But I would imagine that British historians see George Washington a little bit differently than we do. Real life doesn't have simple good guys or bad guys. This summer, we're going to take a look at a biblical character story of someone in the Bible that was considered one of the good guys, despite the fact that during the course of his life, he had major ups and downs. Moments in his life that, quite honestly, would have put him firmly in the bad guy category for most of us. And yet King David was remembered as a man after God's own heart. Not because he was, quote, one of the good guys that did good guy things all the time, but because he was able to somehow trade his righteousness for God's. And I've always been captivated at the way that he's been able to do that. And so over the course of this summer, another series that I'm really looking forward to, we're going to go through his story and talk about how he managed to do that. But his story should give us, and quite frankly, any other person in history, hope of the power of the redemption of Jesus Christ.